Hello guys, welcome back. Now today, we're going to be talking about Zdeno Chara and when he could possibly retire. Now the Boston Bruins defenseman has been a legend in the NHL for quite a long time. The 6'9", 250-pound Bigfoot pretty much. He's a beast, and of course at age 41, he's still going pretty strong. In the 1996 NHL draft, there's only a few players left that are drafted before the 2000 draft that are still in the NHL right now, let alone the 1996 draft. And of course, he's a Stanley Cup champion, winning it in 2011. He also won the 2008-2009 Norris Trophy. And of course, winning the 2011 Cup, he was the captain of the Boston Bruins and definitely deserved to get one in his career. Now, in the 2017-2018 season of the Boston Bruins, he played 73 games, had 7 goals, 17 assists for 24 points. He had a correct score percentage of 52.9, which is very good for a defenseman 41 years of age. In his career, he's played 1,423 games, has had 195 goals, 433 assists for 628 points, with a career 53.8% correct score percentage. Now, Zdeno Chara has been a beast in the last decade, and of course won the Norris Trophy, but he's also been an underrated guy, both defensively, offensively. He's been a very good all-around guy, and of course with that stick length, being 6'9", he has huge range, and that's the biggest thing for him. He's a beast when he fights, if he fights, and physicality-wise, he always brings it every night. He's one of the more all-around guys in the last decade for the NHL, and one of the best defensemen throughout the last decade too. And while the game has become much more faster in the last decade and a half, Zdeno Chara has still been one of the best guys throughout, while not being that type of player. He's been one of the more consistent guys throughout the NHL, and one of the best leadership guys throughout the NHL, one of the best captains for sure, and of course leading the Boston Bruins to the 2011 Cup, we're surely for that. But even today, he brings so much leadership onto the ice. With Charlie McAvoy, he was pretty much their line mate together throughout this past season, and of course, he definitely had some mentorship in there, as Charlie McAvoy had a great breakout season, and was definitely helped by Zdeno Chara having that leadership presence. And of course, as a captain, he's one of the best in the NHL, even if he can't speak that great of English, and even though he can't communicate that great, he brings that leadership presence, and he brings it to the Boston Bruins every single night. And even at age 41, he brings it every night. He showcases his skills every single night, and he still can bring it as a great NHL defenseman, and is still at age 41 is one of Boston's greatest defensive anchors there. I guarantee you, if you ask any Boston Bruins defenseman, they'll likely say that Zdeno Chara is their best guy, because he brings that leadership, he brings that overall play. And at age 41, he still brings the leadership, he still brings the great NHL on-ice talent, and even at age 41, it's still impressive how he brings it every night, how he just is fantastic, both in the leadership and in the style of play. The defense is fantastic still at his age, and his work ethic, his overall ability to still play at the NHL level is bar none, and one of the best in the NHL right now. At this point, you're starting to see the similarity of Jágr, where, you know, they both are very good, they're both very good NHL players, and they still bring it at age 40 and plus. I don't think that Zdeno Chara could still play at like age 45, I don't think he wants to play that far, but at this point, he's still an ageless wonder that continues to bring it every single night, that continues to have that work ethic that really is bringing him to this point. And I feel like both of them are very similar players in how they're structured and how they're able to last this long. One, work ethic has been a big thing for him, a big thing for Zdeno Chara going forward, has been his style of off-season workouts, just everything about his off-ice play and how he really develops himself as a guy and how he develops himself as a human being has really translated into a good, long-lasting NHL career, and for him, I think that will continue to happen. And while researching this video, I figured out that he eats just only plants and that's it. Well, now you know that too. But yes, even with that work ethic, even with the talent that he still brings every night, their career, you know, it doesn't last forever, and the body does seem to wear out towards the end of it. His career is on the downswing, even though he's still a great player right now. How much longer will that really last? We don't really know. With Jaromir Iago, his last season was at age 45, and while I don't think Chara will stay that long, I feel like we could see in the middle of that. I feel like he'll definitely play this next year with the Boston Bruins. He still has that contract, but I feel like he'll play maybe 2 years, possibly 3. I feel like this season or the next could be one of the lasts. Of course, this past season, he signed the one-year contract extension with the Boston Bruins for $5 million on the dot. This past season, the 17-18 season, he had 1 year at $4 million, and then before that, he had that gigantic 6-year, almost $7 million deal. So he's pretty much just taking 1-year deals until he figures out his career is over. I think it's pretty smart on the Boston Bruins part, because if I was them, I wouldn't want to lock up Zdeno Chara to any sort of long-term deal, because at any point, Zdeno Chara could be done with his NHL career at age 41, at age 42. It's smart that Boston hasn't locked him up that much, but Zdeno Chara, keeping on that 1-year deal, I think is still good for him too. Especially if he has a sustained injury this next season, his career could be done like that. Really, injuries are the big thing here, and if he wants to play for as long as Jaromir Iago did, he has to stay healthier than the season, and he can't really have like a knee injury or something big towards his career and his health. He needs to stay healthy, and if he wants to have that sustained career, he needs to do that. And while I think it's definitely risky at this point for a guy like him, I feel like in 2 years at max, I think is what he'll stay at. So I feel like that 18-19 season will probably be his last. And while I certainly don't know his plans, we can definitely take a look at other players that were around the same situation that did that. And while I don't think that Jaromir Iago, I don't think that Chara will be as long as a Jaromir Iago type career. I feel like he'll be around that. I don't think that he'll go that long. I don't even know if he'll get the chance to do that long. But I feel like Chara will want to retire around then. And of course, that's assuming that he doesn't retire after this next season. He could do that and surprise us all. But again, it's all about his future. It's really uncertain what he'll do. It's usually up to him. Of course, if injuries aren't involved. But I feel like he, especially if the Boston Bruins have some sort of success, or if they don't, I feel like he would want to hang it up after the season, especially if he doesn't feel that great. Age 42, the future is uncertain. Again, he's getting a lot older, and at that point, he might want to hang it up just to, have a better chance of his family, all that off-ice stuff, but at that point, you're really getting towards the end of your career, and at age 42, at age 43, we don't know how effective he still might be. And yes, while he might have another Jaromir Iago type, career, I don't see that quite happening. Jaromir Iago was an anomaly. I don't see that happening too much anymore in the next few years. I just feel like the NHL is getting to a lesser point to where that's going to stop happening, where, players are going to be retiring a little bit earlier than usual, and we can see that happening. And while Chara, I think, will have maybe a couple more years left, it's going to be on, thin ice here, no pun intended, but it's getting towards the point where his career is on the downswing, his career is getting towards the end. At any point now, we could see him retire. Chara, while it might be sad, his career is on the downswing, and he might have to realize that sooner or later. So it's going to be interesting to see when he wants to retire, if he's going to be forced to retire, or what ends up happening with the career end, because honestly, the possibilities are endless for him. Next season, we could see players that go to like age 43, age 44 are amazing to see, and it's great to see the endurance that a lot of these players go through. Zdeno Chara, he could still go to that, and he could still accomplish that, which would be awesome to see. But it's all about what he wants, it's all about what the team wants, and it's all about the situation with him off ice and what he wants to do with his life, which is honestly the biggest thing here. But no matter what happens, I'm hoping that he has it well and that he has a decision in this. He's seeming to be one of the best defensemen for the Boston Bruins right now, and one of the better human beings in the NHL, and I hope that he gets to really choose what he wants with his career, how he wants to end it, and hopefully it's not another career that ends in injuries. So for Zdeno Chara, I know you're probably not listening to this at all, but whatever happens, I'm hoping that you get to decide, and hopefully he gets to decide what happens with his eventual end of the career. So that's going for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. Tell me down below, what do you think of Zdeno Chara? When do you think he'll retire? When do you think his career will end, or can he keep going? I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.